Sideline of goal! Lakewood are doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Burning! Alone with a double deal! Dropping fast! Monovoid's there! He's still alive! Wait, second slide! He's going one side! He's going a second! He's taking it out! Oh my God! On three! They're all dead!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Our marathon cast of Summit 2 playoff action continues right now. It's time for the Summit Europe Grand Finals. Secret versus Cloud9. Best of 5. Secret got here the easy way, Ben. They did it through the winner's bracket. But as for Cloud9, they did it the hard way. They had to call their way back in, and VP Polar gave them a bit of a scare. But here they are. They've got a fresh best of 5. Do you believe?
I don't know. Pretty tough for Cloud9, I'd say. They looked decent in their last best of 3. The first one, where they dropped to the loser's bracket, was just, ugh. I don't know. It was an off day.
Yeah. Well, and good news, I guess they've had some chance to rest, recuperate, and hopefully learn from that. So, guess we'll see if they're rejuvenated, guys. We won't waste any more time. The draft is underway, so away we go. Secret versus Cloud9, round 1 of potentially 5. Fight.
So out of 3, Cloud9 actually had second pick, so Wisp is pretty much, it should be a guaranteed ban versus Secret, and then Tidehunter and Brew. Usually it's the Brewmaster that is banned out and Tidehunter the one let through, but looks like Cloud9 will actually switch it up.
Yeah, it's of course nothing too surprising here. The Tide ban, we saw the way that EG tried to deal with this was just to pick the Tide, but they don't have first pick here. Maybe worried that Secret would snag it, I guess, and deciding they'd rather face the S4 Brew than the Tidehunter. So kind of the opposite of the direction that EG took, and obviously that worked for EG, but what works for them may not work for Secret.
Well, when EG second pick, they have to let either Tide or Brew through.
Yeah, so they would let both through, so they could get the Tide. I think I'm pretty sure that's what they did at least 2 or 3 games. And when they had first pick, they did first pick Tide once or twice and banned the Brew. So I guess Cloud9 fear the Tide less than the Brew.
I'd say,
or just assume Secret won't take it.
I think Brew's harder to deal with, just slightly, especially with Skywrath banned, Bat banned.
That's true. Those are, especially with that Skywrath. That hero really does mess with the Brew, but out of the picture. All right, so what are we seeing here? The Eternal Envy Terrorblade was let through, but there's an Elder Titan on the enemy team. So if you want to run your Terrorblade, he's not going to have the easiest of times in this game, and we'll have to see if Cloud9 even wants to go that route.
I also like the first phase puck ban from Secret. Cloud9 have been taking it very, very often and almost exclusively giving it to Fada, and I mean, he just does what puck does. Really difficult to kill, clean, quick initiations, and farms up his items too. We saw him get like Refresher, Scythe, and Lincolns, and
yeah, he was just gargantuan in that game. As it looks like I am still logged into Steam Friends here. Let's see if we can fix that. Okay, so Lycan for Cloud9. It's not a hero that a lot of teams have been ignoring it. He was, even by Miracle, who plays often very similarly to Eternal Envy, entirely ignored in our Southeast Asian playoffs today. Wasn't banned or picked in any had, but it's a little bit more popular in the Western scene and with some of the Chinese teams, and we'll see Cloud9 go for it here.
I wonder why they banned out the Naga. I guess Naga's alright versus Lycan, but it's not something that Secret go for very often.
They were running it a lot more back when they first started, because they would like always get the Wisp. I want to say I saw like 7 or 8 games in a row where maybe they played some other games where Wisp was banned, but like every game I would turn on the TV and just watch, you know, we weren't casting many of their games at the time. They'd always get the Wisp, and often it would be like a Naga Wisp dual lane mid. They would stack both camps for the Naga to clear. Wisp would control the runes. This was, I think, even before the latest patch, and I guess Naga is, with that kind of explosive start from the Wisp, can be a real problem, but I mean, so too can the Tiny or any of the other heroes that they like to run it with. Yeah,
I'm thinking more of setup for their own team or really good versus some Cloud9 heroes. I think Naga versus Lycan match was like very strange because she has really good spells to keep Lycan in place, and her ultimate can also just waste Lycan's ultimate and set up for very nice earth splitters or whatever. But at the same time, Lycan's very good at taking towers down early, which Naga is really scared of, as well as just out late gaming her. And Lycan can almost always man fight a Naga, so it's a little, it's a weird thing. So Secret, go back to the NP. So Fly still looking at his four offlane heroes or so. NP, Tide, Doom, and Timber.
Yeah, it's very rarely been other than that.
Yeah, we see an Ogre now and then, but
I think I saw like one puck game a while ago. Didn't
yeah,
really go particularly well.
It's very rare for them to experiment outside of those four.
Well, they're very stable picks overall. They bring a little bit different tools to the table, but still, your Nature's Prophet, when they've already got so much control from a support in the Elder Titan and a mid in the Brew, they can afford to go for more of a farmer in the offlane. And
I think it's also more like they don't necessarily want to give up the Bone 7 because Cloud9 really good at split pushing. Secret probably want to take them outside of that game with Lycan and NP and like a really difficult to kill Razor farming your lanes aggressively. Cloud9 could easily outgreed Secret into the late game, especially when they have like a Brewmaster who is strength in the mid game, and suffers from split pushing.
so if you want to shut down their split push, what do you go for now if you're Secret? Because they don't really have the best gank. Brew split's pretty expensive to waste just on like a pick-off hero there.
Well, they can go for strong laning phase 2, and then MP can TP in and try and take down their T1s, which is also another way to deal with split push. Just hit them hard really, really early so they can't ever push out the lanes very far. As far as other things, I mean, Lycan and Razor are just really difficult to kill regardless. Maybe like a Bane would be pretty good for them, but I mean, you're going to need a lot of lockdown to kill those. I mean, you could even go for like a Shadow Shaman too, but Shadow Shaman's not that great for Razor, but he's still pretty good in conjunction with Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I'm curious. Oh, we're going to see a Zeus. Very interesting. So, not a hero who generally benefits from that howl damage, but it does give them a nice mixture here of nukes. Can potentially punish the Nature's Prophet split push for Secret, and, well, gives you good burst versus the Brew. So you get that one stun, you might be able to just bring him down before he manages to get off a primal split.
Secret haven't picked their carry yet, neither have they picked their other support, so
They like always last pick their carry. They have to be the only team that so consistently picks it that late. I feel like it's 5th pick like 90% of their games, or if not more.
So Enigma, still more heavy push from them. I thought they might go for more aggressive like Puppy Mirana, try and kill the Zeus over and over with NP and Brew coming in always, but I guess Brew and NP's already enough since Zeus is such a weak laner. Depends on where the Ogre's going to be this game.
Yeah, and this does of course give them some decent lockdown versus the Lycan if this game goes a bit later. Good setup with the Elder Titan Stomp, or the other way around, you can Black Hole into the Earth Splitter. So, some good synergy here between these two, but it is a lineup that if they're not able to get that early push going is very dependent on their ultimate cooldowns. Whereas you look at Cloud9, low ultimate cooldowns across the board, a lineup that can fight all the time. So we're seeing two roads diverging here. Cloud9 more gank oriented, more single target focused, a little bit more split push and constant fighting style, or a Secret heavy team fight, a little more group up and engage.
But Cloud9 also have terrible anti-push too, especially if Brew gets a Blink Dagger. They can't really defend towers that early.
What's Bone
If
7
Secret
gonna
wants
play?
to. Oh,
His
but
Puck's banned if he was gonna play it. The Bat's banned, the Legion's banned.
I would say Centaur I mean, he should be able to play Centaur. I say it's really good here. Very common to pick versus Brewmaster. Nice and tanky.
There's also that Clockwork, which we've seen a decent amount, but there's a lot of summons here to mess with the battery assault. So
Yeah.
you'd mostly be getting it for the hook shot and the cogs.
No synergy with Lycan either with Clock. Who else is there? Timber's alright too.
Storm. Huh.
Okay, so it might be an offlane Zeus then, or support Zeus. Oh wait, yeah, I would run support Zeus. So I guess that might be aggro trying then.
Aggro try.
That
Zeus,
sounds
Ogre Razor.
well.
That sounds pretty bad.
It sounds pretty terrible, but
It's okay. They've got the lightning lineup here, dude. Razor, Zeus, and Storm.
just
You
need
should be rooting hard for Cloud9 in this game one, Ben.
need 3 Mjolnirs and they're good to go.
That is a lot of lightning.
At the same time,
What's the
these
counter
heroes
to
are all
lightning?
like really weak. Lightning, rubber.
Okay. What
Rubber,
heroes
rubber
made out
plus
of rubber?
earth. You need Earth Spirit.
All right.
They have Elder Titan.
That hero's OP as fuck, so hopefully no one's picking it in Captain's mode.
They have Earth Splitter.
You're right, they do. The ground counters, potentially counters your lightning anyway. It will be a void for secret, so we're looking at disgusting team fight combo. Mass lockdown now for the Lycan from your Elder Titan Stomp setup. The decent control from the Brew, the Black Hole, the Chrono. Also could be a rough game for the Storm Spirit if he's just even slightly off in his timings and movements, and just kind of a complete separation in styles here. Cloud9 with not a single hero that you would call like a true team fighter. Secret with 4 at least that you would, and Nature's Prophet who can fill in a pinch.
Yeah, how could I forget about Faceless Void? Yes, what hero is good against Split Push? Faceless Void is one of the best carries versus Split Push.
Yeah, especially once you get that Mask of Madness, like then you could just sprint after them right when they're about to TP out, time walk in, Chrono, and bash them into submission.
A well positioned Zeus though can mess with the Faceless Void very heavily
With that ultimate.
Yeah, well, I mean, even just Bolt ult will drop them to like 25% in between Mask of Madness and BKB.
They don't really have like a proper solution for Chronosphere outside of that, though. There's no swap, there's no disruption. Looks like AUI needs a remake. We're gonna have a ping issue here.
The struggle.
Horseface. Shout out to Suns fan. Alright. I'm not sure if our admin's actually here.
Yep. Good old playing from... Where is he playing from? Vancouver? Luckily,
Yeah.
luckily Zeus is not a...
To be fair, this might be a difficult task to find a Luxembourg server that pings well. I'm not sure how many different nodes they have. Alright, I'm just gonna rehost because I'm not seeing.
You take control there.
I'm the boss. Okay, let's see. Summon 2 ticket. Best of 5. Who had first pick again? Do you remember? Look at this.
Secret had first pick. They first picked Brew.
Sorry for my lethargy, guys. I'm saving my strength for the actual game. Secret, who was Radiant.
Yes, that would be correct.
All right, join the slot. So let's see. Can I get the end of the draft up? So who do you favor here, Ben? We've got big AoE combo for Secret, Brew, Elder Titan, Nature's Prophet, Enigma Void. Or do you like this Cloud9 Razor, Ogre Magi, Lycan, Zeus, probably a support Storm Spirit?
I like Secret's lineup more. I think the Faceless Void pickup is really strong for them. They don't... So, Cloud9, they have what? Strong split push and strong single target damage, whereas Secret, as you said, strong team fight as well as really strong, and I guess somewhat strong anti-split push. I guess Nature's Prophet is like pretty good versus it since he can push out all your lanes and not really leave you vulnerable. Also, when they get BKBs, Zeus is useless. Razor can just get black holed. Lycan also, like the black hole is also something to consider too. So, in looking at other things too, I think a lot of the reason why they shied away from Nature's Prophet on Simba was because they actually lost a lot of team fights because when he picked Nature's Prophet, when they had Nature's Prophet. So Puppies learned from that. He also just drafted like way more team fight, maybe even overcompensating for the fact that there's no Tidehunter in his hands, and just giving them this, I wouldn't say wombo combo, but just plenty of anti BKB lockdown too.
Yeah. Okay. So they have some safety nets here, I guess you could say, and we'll have to see if they end up working out. But on paper, it does look pretty solid here for Secret. We're gonna run quickly through our remake, guys. It is Captain's mode just to ensure that the creeps will spawn at the correct time, that teams have adequate opportunities to go and place their wards or feed at level 1, as the case may be. And with that said, Ben, we're underway here.
Perfect time to level 1 Roshan.
So Odds on Dota 2 Lounge. They were 69-31 in favor of Secret. You on board with that? You think it's a 70-30 Secret advantage? Or?
I would say maybe like just a bit more Secret, just judging from recent performance and trend and how these two teams have played. Secret struggled a lot versus VP, but I think it's actually because VP was playing very well, rather than Secret playing not up to their abilities, whereas Cloud9, when they dropped down, I think they were just playing very, very weak, as opposed to C9 just playing, or sorry, VP just playing well. So, aside from that, I think Secret has actually become fairly predictable with their drafts. Not that that's a bad thing. The only thing that is a wild card is usually just Kuro's hero. You have no idea what he's going to play. And Cloud9, they've been having some off-the-wall strategies too, with the support Zeus that worked out so well for them the other day. But it's really good versus Blink initiators, but at the same time, they don't, like, the Storm has to get really fat for them to go in, like, Orchid someone, and then, like, Zeus ult to trying to stop an initiation. It's not like you really need, like, a Blink Black Hole to win a team fight, and Faceless Void doesn't really get stopped by a Zeus ult either. So, yeah, they don't really have the same sort of strat like they did last time. They also had a puck last time too, so if he sees someone with a Zeus ult, he just blinks in Waning Rifts or Coils or Scythe, and then they can start the fight. But this time, Storm has to put himself in very grave danger by doing so, and it's Bone 7 playing the Storm, so he's very unlikely to get amounts and amounts of farm that is required to propel this sort of lineup into a strong mid game.
Alright, so Cloud9 unhappy with servers here. And good news, I guess, like you said, Zeus is not generally a particularly timing-intensive hero. I mean, sometimes using that ult before Blink Daggers come out can be an issue, but, well, at least it's not a puck.
Or Storm. Storm would be way worse.
Yeah, so good news is Bone 7 will be handling that one. And with that said, we get underway, folks. It is game 1 of a best-of-5 showdown. Winner punches their ticket to the Summit 2 LAN Finals. Already 2 teams confirmed. Evil Geniuses, your defending champions from the Summit 1. And of course, well, they had that very memorable 3-2 victory over DK in the Grand Finals. Sadly, RIP DK, no longer around, but gave us some great games back then. And, well, as for the second team, they just punched their own ticket. So if you didn't watch it, I'm going to spoil it. But yeah, the Southeast Asia qualifier is over. First departure. It was truly a miracle today. Miracle Dota in full force, backs against the wall. Managed to propel them into the Summit, and they'll represent Southeast Asia. Look to do them proud. And yeah, with that said, we'll run through our drafts here. Secret, Big Daddy No 10 will be playing your Elder Titan. Kuroki on that safe lane Void. S4, going mid as the Brew, sensational Brew player that he is. Simba will be playing your Nature's Prophet, using those transfer, a little extra body blocking, as we do see this Radiant camp get Magic Bush, trying to slow down that Enigma a bit for Pile Die, and that leaves Captain Puppy on the Enigma. As for Cloud9, you mentioned, Ben, off-lane Storm, but he's got a little help here from Pi on the Ogre. That puts Fada mid on the Razor. Here that's quite often ignored by this team, to be honest. AUI 2000 the Zeus, and Eternal Envy will be your liking.
Yeah, with Elder Titan starting the off lane, and with Enigma very obviously going to the jungle, then Pylai is just
Look at this damage, dude. Forget about your howl. That ain't gonna happen. He howled and then just ran away. Like, just got clubbed by No Tail.
Yeah, they're sacrificing Kuro's farm for EEs, which I guess they're more relying on the Blink Daggers early, but still, Kuro is not getting anything in this bottom lane. He's not even getting experience. Maybe 1 or 2 creeps. Whereas EE's getting good XP.
If he's getting experience, then you can definitely call it a win, because obviously once they get their other ultimates, Void can just show up Chrono, help them secure some kills, and catch up that way. But if he's not even getting levels, then Kuroki may struggle. No, it looks like he'll be able to squeeze his way up near the tree line. Has the time walk level 1 and leech at least a little bit. So look at the lanes overall. We're going to see a Razor mid up against the Brewmaster. Generally, we see the Razor have a lot of fun in these 1v1 matchups versus melees, but still the Brew should get his levels. Probably not going to die unless there's a really good rune pickup or a support rotation. The story of this bottom lane is, of course, Bone 7.
Oh, there's a stomp on EE.
They're going to go in. The follow-up from Simba, not really there.
Oh, that was really close.
Yeah, if he had his boots, maybe. Has not skilled Sprout yet either. He's only level 2, so I guess the trade is Kuroki is struggling mightily, but they are running the jungle. Enigma and Puppy. doing reasonably well here. In fact, quite well. Hits level 3 at 2 minutes, despite having his magic bush warded. So, they're getting something in exchange for that Void's pain, and not even the Void will get a lot here. He doesn't have a ward, so he's got to play cautiously. His Puppy will have his clarity cancelled. Annoying, but he's very close to his soul ring anyway.
Yeah, Puppy, I think, is one of the better Enigmas at recovering when most of his camps are warded. I think I've seen him have like 3 camps warded and still hit level 6 by 6 minutes, which I think is a very good standard to hold Enigmas to in the AFK jungle role.
Alright, let's see if the lightning strat's going to pay off here for Cloud9. For now, they're 2 of their lightning gods are off to a great start. The Zeus, not so much, but he's a support. He's trying to duke it out here, do a bit of de-warding. He's attempting for it. He'll throw out the lightning bolt again, getting that vision. And it will allow them to de-ward. Although it does, of course, chew up that mana pool quite heavily.
Oh, EE blocked the spawn with his Lycan Wolves. Where's the hashtag efficiency?
Of all the players to screw it up.
I know. Of all the
Should we
players.
just F9 and
I
report
think it was him. It might have been Owie, but I'm fairly sure it was those wolves.
Well, I guess to be fair, there's a lot of oh, actually, right as I say that, no, Elder Titan does leave this lane. So yeah, it hurts him for sure. Good news, though, they are just wrecking on these 2 other lanes. Bone 7, 20 and 16. Kuroki is level 2. Bone 7, 4.5. Remember, he's going to have howl damage to continue to assist him in this lane. So it'll be rough times here bottom. I think Void is okay at coming back as a hero, but...
Yeah, Storm should not be getting this good of a start, though.
It's
so
an
they have
offlane Storm, too. Yeah, he had a little help, but only a little.
Oh, S4. Almost dies him in. Holy.
He's going to go in with the Haster, and there's a potential rotation here from Pylai Dai. If he gets a fortunate 4-minute rune, perhaps S4. Haste, still a long time, though. Double damage rune waiting top for Fada. He's going to try to nuke him a bit, but can't quite get in range for that plasma field, so... It'll be S4, just snagging a bounty rune, a double damage rune to Fada. Might be some kill potential with this. I'm wondering, will Puppy look to make a move soon? He's only level 4, getting good farm in the jungle, but... actually, only 4. He's already hit 5, so... No tell rotating bottom as well. Looks like they've decided they've slowed down Eternal Envy just enough for their liking, and they'll leave that Lycan to farm. Mid lane, though. Jump onto S4. They're stealing his damage. Plasma field's there. The double damage rune securing that kill, and... Well, Ben, the key thing is they did not have any kind of ward to spot Pylai Dai's movement. No ward at the top rune, no ward anywhere on the ramp, and they only now spot Pylai Dai roaming around.
Yeah, I guess they were more worried about interference in the jungle rather than rotations in mid, but Pylai Dai has done so much in this early game, putting Kiro just at 10 CS, and then getting that first blood on S4 when he was so close to level 6.
I mean, he didn't really slow him down, but canceled a clarity, leached a little experience, perhaps. Although, actually, I don't think any creeps died while he was there, but still, not too shabby.
Yeah, Owie is actually doing pretty well in the Zeus, too. And it's kind of cool that they just use his bolt to de-ward, so save yourself some sentries and almost guarantee yourself a pull a few minutes into the game. So, Smoke from Puppy, he's about to be level 6 right now. So, that's that.
It's the timing window. Bone 7... chilling in the trees. He's level 6. No Chronosphere. Very tough to get in range for that black hole. They're going to force out a Brew split mid. There'll be a long-range boulder toss coming through. Nature's Prophet. Thinking about a teleport in. Not coming just yet. It looks like he's been pursued a bit by the Lycan in the top lane. They'll drop Fada back down to earth. Still taking huge damage from the Fire Panda Puppy. Now the black hole. Follow up here from your 2 big AoE ultimates. And Cloud9 will get cleaned up mid lane. Make it 2-1 the score. Eternal Envy will go for a very early medallion. Not even completing that Vlad's first. Just looking for a quick Roshan, perhaps. He knows the ults are down. Could be a good timing.
Very smart play from S4. With the Cyclone, they can always buy time for the stomp, so it's kind of a placeholder for the Yules in the early game, too. Very nice on that coordination.
Yeah, and just good decision making. Like, they were both at full health when he did that, but splits, the Earth Panda static link breaks, and he knows that he'll have the Immolation Panda, whose damage is not drained, just doing plenty of work in the chase. So, good pick off there for Secret, and just nice to get on the board early with those ults.
Oh, they might try and go on Kiro here.
They do have a pull. Kuroki has gone for the 2-1-2 build, so fairly defensive in nature. Not the easiest kill.
Oh, they didn't place a ward behind the tower. I'm surprised that he didn't. But yeah, Kiro strength treads too. Wow, he's really scared. Not sure, really sure what Fada's building yet. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about NP whole game. His CS is actually not that great. A little bit less than Lycanthrope's at this point.
Yeah, to be fair, he's laning against Hal. He's been harassed a bit, but I suppose more importantly, he's gotten his level 6. So we could see some rotations to the jungle. Give this lane perhaps to your Elder Titan, or maybe Simba even just going to go for some pickoffs with the ultimate.
And finally, Secret has an Observer Ward up in the middle. Maybe scout out some rotations from Pylite, but Pylite is actually just sitting in the bottom lane. Bone 7 just sitting at Fountain waiting for a good opportunity to TP and gank. And he will
choose top lane.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet's still pretty squished. Big Daddy is ready and waiting, though.
Wolves are there just to make sure that nobody from Secret's trying to sneak up, and Bone 7 prepares for the jump in. There you go. There's your initial auto attack. He got it off, then the pull. Efficient usage of those overloads. One more zip. Good mana efficiency there from Bone, and he'll collect a kill at the same time. Our top route could be a bit of a skirmish. In fact, there will be a big one. Clap comes in from S4. He's got his split ready to go. Now the Elder Titan Spirit following fought up. He'll get Boulder Toss. Really heavily focused. The tree uneven body blocking him. Still kept alive for now by that magic stick, but they'll just reset with a quick throw up in the air from the Cyclone. Drop him back down into another Boulder Toss, and it's another death for the Razor. A Razor pick that's gotten a good start in the lane, but now being shut down as Big Daddy going to ward up this Lycan camp. Immediately gets eyeballs on him. They don't have Black Hole for 40. They're going to try and TP in their Nature's Prophet here. He doesn't have his ultimate. Used it earlier. He'll get stomped. Eternal Envy caught out by a Sprout. Now surrounded by Trance. Blocked in perfectly. And Big Daddy jams it home with that big stapler gun. And meanwhile, Kuroki getting some much-needed space, Ben.
Yeah, the very classic C9. Rotate EE into the jungle and farm with the supports.
They were all over that.
Yeah.
Like, normally it's with Terrorblade, but yeah. Doesn't matter what hero it is. If he can jungle, they want to put him there.
And they've been doing a really good job of shutting down Fada. 2 Panda ultimates, 2 kills. Really important for them. I'm not exactly sure what Fada's going for. Like, if he's their mech carrier, it's even more important. But still, slowing down his BKB is
Do
going
they
to be
even
of
want
utmost
to mech
importance.
this game? Like, they don't look very strong at team
Well, he
fighting
doesn't
on
want to
paper.
die during the Chronosphere either. But, like,
I guess you could go for some HP as well.
yeah, you can also just go BKB, I suppose.
It's not an easy choice for Cloud9. They're not really built to team fight unless they're very far ahead and just blow heroes up instantly. And with no Ogre level 6 yet, although it is coming soon, and up against all these AoE ults, it seems they'll more likely have to resort to just outmaneuvering Secret. Go for pickoffs, bait out ultimate, split push, go for that Roshan smoke, which I want to mention Eternal Envy is still not going Vlad's, your standard Lycan build. He's got a Glove of Haste, and it looks like he might go back for a Midas, perhaps. Could just be the Treads pickup early, but...
Uh-oh, they're ulting on Simba again.
Dip in onto your Nature's Prophet top lane, caught out, and Bone 7. Very nice maneuvering for him on the Storm. He got a lot early. He's gone for his classic build. You see it on Nature's Prophet. We see it on Storm. The triple null tally. Plenty of it.
Yeah, Simba needs to use his Treants to scout. He had it at like 2 seconds off cooldown, or it was 2 seconds on cooldown, but at the same time he can't really keep dying to the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit is almost at the point where he can solo kill a Nature's Prophet, and there were 3 heroes up there just waiting for him to peep his head out.
Especially with this build. Like, you go for all these early null talismans, you have a lot more single target burst this early. A lot more mana to work with, and just a little additional right-click damage to boot. And
Yeah.
the Chronosphere online for Kuroki. Are they thinking about a go in here bottom lane? They've got the level 3 Spirit. Prophet ult. They just want to make sure all their ducks are in a row, and now they are. They're going to go in with the Chronosphere. Earth Splitter waiting. Where's that Prophet ult? It bounces through. Pi got off his stick, but it's not enough. They even sleep Fana just to help secure the retreat, so... Secret just very efficient with their ultimate usage. We saw the first Brewmaster split, that's a kill mid. Then they get a follow-up kill with Black Hole. Now they're getting a kill with Chronosphere. The Prophet ults have been used a few times in the mix, and pretty much every ult use of some kind, Ben, has resulted in at least a single hero kill.
S4 is right about to get his Blink Dagger too. Just needs...
How worried are you if you're Cloud9 right now?
It depends on how much farm Lycan can get. Their T1s are definitely going to fall, just because they can't really deal with Brewmaster Ultimate at this point. Zeus just recently hit 6. Maybe once you get like an Orchid on Storm. I don't know if they're going to be able to get an Orchid though. Like Bone 7's kind of cooled off. He hasn't died yet, but he's still not getting that much farm. He's like waiting and anticipating ganks, and especially trying to kill Simba. But I don't really think Simba's that important of a hero to kill this game.
Yeah, he kind of seems like fool's gold. When Void's picked up a Mask of Madness, hits level 8, obviously everyone will hit hard thanks to the Elder Titan, and you've got an Enigma with a completed mech as well as Treads online.
They're smoked. They want Kuro, but he's
Tough
behind the
kill.
tower. He also already bouted Mask of Madness, so not a big deal. And yeah, that's the Brewmaster Blink. He's already headed down there. Can they really keep him stun locked from 100 to 0? I highly doubt it, but with Zeus ult, it's a small possibility.
It's only a level 3 Lightning Bolt, though.
Oh, they
Smoke just out of range of this ward, I believe. Not rotating yet. Pylai Die just casually smacking this bottom tower. He's got nobody in the neighborhood. Not sure if they're really expecting to be able to turn on this one. They maybe thought with the wards they'd have vision of any movements, but Pie's just going to go down. That's a freebie.
It's the fake bait.
It's... Who are you faking out? Your own team? They're not taking Roche. They're not taking tower.
You're faking out Kuro. He's like, I don't want to go in this ogre. He's definitely surrounded by people, and he's not.
Well, they got a couple 100 points of tower damage, so clearly worth.
That's a gem.
That's an early gem.
Secret is really good about picking up gems very early, and I wouldn't say it's like completely unnecessary at this point, but there are 3 wards in our jungle, so good sense by him. And S4 maybe looking to use another Brewmaster ult.
Oh, this would be a big kill, and Fada unfortunately hasn't bought an item yet. He's still at 1,500 gold, could have that point booster, but without that extra value HP, he looks slated to fall here mid lane, caught out by the Malphus Earth Splitter. Secret with no hesitation about just chucking ultimates to secure kills, and why the hell not? It's not being punished anywhere. Kuro gonna zip on out with a time walk. He might need to chrono as well. Will get pulled back in. Will he have some backtrack luck here? A little bit. The Zeus ult comes through. Quick TP out, and Kuroki will skate on away. At the same time they push him mid, they do have their black hole ready. No mana for it though, so don't actually have it available. Perhaps Cloud9 can look for a fight. Chrono's down. Your Brewmaster split was used. No mana for black hole. Actually just got it. But yeah, they're gonna back just in the nick of time. Do you maybe try and Roche off of this? Can they Roche?
Black hole's still up. I don't think so. As long as Nature's Prophet's pretty vigilant about his treant usage.
He's gonna summon some trance. Big Daddy looking to clear out the jungle. Now remember, C9 had 3 wards in total planted down here. One of them expired. One of them is currently blocking.
Oh, they
this
see
game.
Pylai Die coming up. And the creep gets multicasted. They expect a Roshan right now, but Elder Spirit or Elder Titan Spirit goes in the pit.
It's going to be very hard to Roche this game. Constantly Spirit scouting and the Treants that you mentioned. I don't know if you can... I mean, maybe it's possible they sneak it, but they may have to like give something up to do it.
Yeah, I think maybe...
Maybe even just
Pylai Die, come on! We need you!
See, that's where I was like, okay, is he baiting so they can Roche? But Eternal Envy did not have his Vlads yet, so not a very easy Roche. But here comes S4. Bit poor on his Brewmaster, to be honest, but he's got his blink. He's looking for Fada now. That ultimate going strong. He's going to ping him out. Nature's Prophet could join this. Fada has bought his point booster now, though, and I think with that, he's just a bit too tanky to bring down. Wolf's going to get slightly body blocked. Now Eternal Envy going to get body blocked. S4.
That's awkward.
Yeah, pinging it out. I'm not sure if Eternal Envy even noticed. He might have been microing or doing something else, but we'll look for the pie kill again. Hey, freebie on the Ogre here bottom lane, it looks like. It's off the nuke, but what does it really matter? Stomped, and then 1 or 2 more auto attacks will do him. No, Juke. They're bringing in reinforcements. They want to try and fight this. Their Storm's going to arrive soon. Pie will end up going down. Bone 7 a bit low. They'll Zeus ult. Now zipping forward. Bone 7 goes for the Big Daddy takedown. Kuroki has a Mask of Madness, though. Bone 7 has to be very careful, and he gets caught by the black hole. Not careful enough. He will fall. I mean, it's... Yeah, you call it a wombo combo lineup, but it's just like... guaranteed kill secure lineup, basically. Chrono for 1 kill, Black Hole for another, Brew Split for a 3rd. And the way they're staggering their ults, they always have something up if Cloud9 tries to go Roche.
One of the strengths of Cloud9 is being able to fight around the opponent's cooldowns of their ultimates. Like if they use Lycan ult like they did on top lane to secure a kill on Simba, they pick him off in the jungle immediately afterwards during the cooldown, and Cloud9 is kind of the opposite of that. They don't play well around the opponent's cooldowns at all. And that's just because they play a completely different style, and they just opt for a lot of gold and a lot of experience and Roshan and other objectives instead of taking kills. And that's one thing that is a marked difference in between these 2 teams.
It really doesn't feel like the kind of game where like a farmed Lycan alone can carry it. They are getting good farm on the Razor, but No matter how big your Lycan
It's
gets.
not good enough. Like, Razor will
Yeah.
still just drop to, like, Face's Void Ult plus Earth Splitter. That's already pretty brutal for him to deal with. And he has no armor, no additional plus armor from his items
And
either.
Secret just have a good lineup to punish a Lycan because no matter how much move speed he has, if he's Chronoed or Black Hole, he ain't going anywhere. So your 650 move speed Wolf is not big and bad, but even Little Red Riding Hood can look to take him down.
And Secret, even though Lycan is nowhere close, they always have a Treant sitting inside Roshan. That's extremely important for them to do. I think C9, they can get back in this game, but only if they secure Roshan at some point. They probably need a smart pick into a Roshan kill, but at the same time, they don't even have any of the T1 towers down, and Secret's already taken down the mid and bottom T1, so Roshan access is far easier for Radiant and Dire, and they're going for a smoke. They might actually get a gem kill on No Tail. That'd be so big.
Stomp mid lane will get pulled in. Are they going to look to counter initiate here? They will TP1. Your gem picked up as Storm retreats out. Blink forward from S4. Bone 7 out of mana. He's going to give that gem right back as the boulder toss comes through. Now the Cyclone onto the Ogre. Just didn't have the mana for the escape route. Pi trying to run, but there's no running from S4. Kuroki collects the prize there. Big Daddy No Tail's gem has now been restored to its rightful owner, or will be soon. And it does open up the map a little bit for Eternal Envy, but it's an expensive opening of the map as they not only will get the gem back and get 2 kills, but they now look at the tier 2 mid. Secret extending that early advantage. With this tower falling, they'll have the map control, and it gets harder and harder for the Lycan to finagle his way into the pit.
I mean, even finagling his way into the jungle is going to be slightly more difficult too. And at this point, they can just do Roshan themselves, I'm fairly sure. Oh, it's the fake Roshan. I would expect them to go into Roshan right now.
I wonder if Cloud9 expect the same. They're pushing out bottom lane with Bone 7.
I think they definitely do. That's why they're headed there. So this is a curious play.
Cerebral play from Cloud9. They'll use that lightning bolt just to do a bit of scouting. Drop down an Obs Ward, and Secret just lurk on the high ground. They see Fada. He's got Plate Mail and Point Booster, though. Very efficient item pickups to just survive during the Chronosphere, so they'll need a lot of nukes to bring him down as Kuroki leaps in. He's going to fight a 2-hero Chrono. Watch out. Black Hole is at the ready. Midnight Pulse is there. They don't even need the Black Hole. Already 2 fallen. Puppy going to look to re-engage here with the Malefice. Black Hole can follow this. They'll use it. No hesitation. Fauna dead to rights. A double kill for Kuroki, and
Earth Splitter on top, just for good measure.
they still have Bruce.
Screw you, Lightning.
Who needs rubber? You've just got pure earth.
This is
Mounds and mounds of
this
dirt.
is pretty brutal.
And now Simba's going to try to show them who the real lightning god is, because he's got a maelstrom.
I mean, if Zeus is just food for Faceless Void at this point, and then that's before he gets BKB. If he gets Continental, he's just done for. And then Lycanthrope doesn't have BKB, so if he gets Drunken Haze, he's useless in fights. Or Cyclone, both are really good at dealing with Lycan. And then Storm Spirit is... He had a really good start. He was 1-0. Now he's 1-3. He had 3 no talismans. He turned 1 talisman into a soul ring, but that's no item progression into anything of serious mention.
And when you're a prophet, it's one thing because you can just bring so much to the table with your basic items. You know, go into the blade mail, have your ultimate, the treants to push, but Storm really needs a lot more to be active in this game, and not to mention that he's just so damn squishy. 1 Chrono or Black Hole and he's food. It only takes that first ult. They're going to Zeus ult here. They do get eyes on Big Daddy. They'll zip in. This time the gem will be claimed for free. Don't see anyone in position to rotate through and snag that one back. Puppy comes in, but seems to be a bit late to the show. Missed his opening, and at long last, Cloud9 gets something big. A little map control can go back their way, and perhaps this will... Well, this may lead to a bigger skirmish. S4 says, we want our gem back. He's going to blink forward, completely off the mark with the clap there, as everybody from Cloud9 scattered. Or with the blink there, not with the clap. The clap was, of course, on the mark, but the gem carrier's down. And gem right back into Puppy's waiting arms.
I mean, Cloud9
Gem's a hot potato.
they're so greedy. They get the gem, and then they have plenty of time to just retreat and back out.
Look at Kuroki.
But
He time walked after Eternal Envy, who TP'd back to his tier 2. And he immediately headed that way as Eternal Envy just DC'd. That's a bit unfortunate.
looking real bad for Cloud9 here. real bad. I think the offlane storm is a very cool concept, and it's
Just the items that you're questioning.
no, I don't think it's items. I think it's more the razor and the storm. Like they have no synergy together. He really needs a ganking partner, especially when he's offlane.
Like a life stealer, or I don't know if you
Puck
could lane at this
Puck would have
game.
been really good. Like Quap, any sort of like killing hero, which would have been better for them rather than a razor. Razor.
Puck could have been decent versus the Brew as well. Very good at
Yeah,
harassing.
but Puck was first banned, so they had to go for.
Or no, Quap, I'm saying. Sorry,
Yeah,
not
Quap
Puck.
would have been pretty good. But
It is very risky, but I mean, running Storm to begin with is a fairly risky opening, or a fairly risky strat, I should say.
Razor's strength is in not dying, and he died every time in Brewmaster Ultimate, as well as sucking melee damage from immobile carries.
But Void is Time Walk and Mask of Madness, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and he's not tanky enough to even kind of even go for that play. So Razor's efficacy has just been severely limited, and if they can counter gank, then the Razor's really good. But C9's also not very good at counter ganking because Pilot AI is usually off doing his own thing. He was off zoning out the Faceless One on bottom as well as Enigma, and then Zeus or Owie just almost always plays greedily, so you're only counting on one support to kind of help the Razor out. So that way Secret can just keep focusing on Razor, keep focusing on him, get him to the point where he needs a ton of items to kind of get back in the game, which he's not able to. And then on top of that, they need Storm Spirit to get kills, but he can't get kills because everyone's still in recovery mode. Like in Tough Start with a dual lane on top with Elder Titan Razor, Tough Start died to so many Brewmaster Ultimates, so they don't really have a ganking partner. They're not going to get BKBs, no Orchid to prevent Brewmaster Ultimate or Faceless Void. They don't even have to get BKBs on Secret.
Yeah, no Orchid in sight as mentioned, so.
GG, puppy got pipe. Game over.
They are pretty nuke damage focused. It's Lycan who right clicks. The Storm does good right click damage, but a lot of it's from Overload, which is of course magical. So pipe is gonna be huge this game.
It's also just nice pushing high ground too. Like Plasma Field will generally be enough to take out or stop a T3 push.
The thing
this
is, like,
early.
man, you'd love to have a Doom right now just to shut this Enigma down, since he's carrying pipe mech and has a lot of their team fight in his ult, but they just don't have a hero along those lines, or a Void, something that can maybe burst him. But it's Secret who have those tools exclusively.
Puppy's really good at balancing farm and fighting on his junglers. I think he's one of the best junglers in those regards. Not too greedy, not too fighty, and always gets his items up. And, I mean, these are big items too. Mech and pipe. Pipe. The dream.
Team got a pipe earlier today, actually.
Oh wow.
They lost,
Oh wow.
but they did throw a little bit. They had full lane of Rax down, super stacked Razor, and then they stuck around to refresh on their Tide Hunter, try to go for a Ravage kill on a buyback Ember, and they just got wrecked by Miracle. So, guess I'm opening the wound for the Invasion fans out there a little bit, but yeah, that game, even then the pipe was a good pickup. Up against the Zeus, there was a few other nukers. Nice little high ground selection, but Cloud9 now.
They just need more
It is a
item
best of
progression.
5.
Yeah, this game is.
That's kind of where they're at. I feel like it's like this is probably not going to go our way.
It's certainly not, and like even now, Lycan's farming T2, and there's a Treant in the pit, so there's like no opportunity to sneak in Roshan.
And even if they snuck the rush, or even if the gold was even, it's not like Cloud9 just flat out win there. I mean,
It buys
it's one
them
thing when
time.
they're split pushing. When they try to force some issue against Secret with this lineup, very difficult not to get caught, as we talked about earlier. But yeah, from a deficit, of course, it's a struggle for sure.
Stroke City.
Population 9.
Where is good old EE?
He's back in the game now. As soon as the Popo went looking for him, he came right back.
So yeah, C9. I think they're just gonna keep doing what they're doing. Is just like just suffer some casualties here and there and try and farm up in the meantime. But it's not gonna work versus this sort of lineup. Just Chrono 1, Pandal another, Black Hole 1 more, and all your farm's gonna go straight down the toilet.
Secret gonna immediately back off here, as perhaps worried about a Cloud9 rotation, but they're gonna get to a point this game where I don't think they'll have much reason to back off. Dire Courier on a desperation mission, but Simba gonna deter it from going for the secret shop. They have an observer ward in the neighborhood, and can't even shop with the damn mini Tuskar, or whatever the hell that is. I think it's a Tuskar. Now Mjolnir picked up on Kuroki. I mean, they're really going for the real Lightning God strat. Mjolnir, Maelstrom.
Well, they don't have any BKBs on Cloud9, and they're still very far away from it, so Mjolnir is especially good this game.
This is just rubbing it in C9's face. You draft 3 Lightning heroes? Too bad. We still have more Lightning than you. And we have the power of ground.
Aoi is scouted out, and let's see if it goes for a kill.
7, top lane, caught up by a Chrono. Couldn't react in time. Kuroki just gonna slice him to pieces. Man, that was easy. Bone 7, I will give him credit, was mid-zip animation, or mid-cast animation on the zip. But
see, even this is, like, Secret just knows Cloud9 so well. Hey, we're going to fake a push as 4, and then you're going to try and push out of side lanes, and then we're going to kill you. It's just way too predictable play coming up from Cloud9.
And, I mean, crucially, the right kind of lineup to punish it. Having that Void, having the Nature's Prophet. Very important versus this. Mainly the Void, honestly. He's just a one-man killing arm machine. Like, and they can't really gank him is the problem. Maybe if Storm had a Hex or at least an Orchid, they'd have a shot, but without it, it's tough. And as Kuroki just chills in the enemy woods, his team has eyes on other objectives. They're into the Roche Pit. Let's see if Cloud9 even attempt to contest. They have used the Razor ultimate already. Puppey's going to walk right into Fada. And now they're going to follow this up with a clap. Instantly down to half health. Man, that Elder Titan Spirit does work. They're not done yet, Pi. Stop. We'll find him too. Big Daddy. Just the gift that keeps on giving here for Secret as Pi gets sprouted up. It's auto-attacked by the Maelstrom procs. And now body blocked by Big Daddy. Having trouble retreating. Again the Spirit. Again the Pursuit. Another stop available, but can't really get in range to secure this kill. The Nature's Prophet does it, though. Just so much. This Elder Titan. I mean, I don't know what you do against Secret, because we say this about pretty much all of Big Daddy's main heroes. The Airshaker, the Wisp, and the Elder Titan. But every single one just does so much work. What a player.
You pick Elder Titan. That's what VP did.
That's true. It worked for them, too, that one game.
Neko 3 up on Lycan, but to be honest, it's can't really do that much.
And they do Salt. They're going to try and... I don't even know if they bother to walk into the pit. Chrono's online, Black Hole's online, Bruce Split's online. And you have nothing to prevent these heroes from getting off their ult. No Global Silence, no Chrono of your own. Just no way. You're going to let it go. Maybe Bone 7 goes for the big steal. He's zipping on through. He's up on the high ground. He doesn't actually commit, but he does bait out a Puppey Black Hole. Still worth it to make sure that there's no Aegis steal. It's an expensive spell. But
Worth.
I think it's still worth it.
Yeah, they could have scouted with Elder Titan Spirit, I feel like. And Bone 7 is just, he's deathly afraid.
That turns out to be a real nice play for Bone 7. As the Stomp comes through, we'll find Pi. They have their Aegis up on S4. They'll go in with a crit from the Brew. Boy, you'd love to have a Black Hole right now. But since they don't, they'll just settle for the Pipe, the damage follow-up from your Elder Titan. And at the same time, they're going to push out that top lane.
He split.
He split. He's going back in onto Eternal Envy. Boulder Toss came through, but didn't do a whole heck of a lot. Now trying to retreat out.
Waiting for the
Stop.
Chrono.
A bit off the mark, but the Chrono? Oh, that's also off the mark. Secret. Series of air balls here. Now they probably need to get the hell out. They're going to try to punish Kuro. He has Magic Stick charges. Doesn't even pop them in time. Just panics, looks to run away, gets blown up by Cloud9.
What a whiff.
Complete airball on the... So, yeah, Black Hole airball. Primal Split airball. Void Chrono airball. You could argue Puppies was just to secure the Aegis, but... Well, I guess in good news, Ben, they still have that Aegis. They lose the Void, but they hold on to their precious extra life for the potential next push.
We call those victory ultimates.
It's maybe a little early to celebrate. I've seen plenty of game where like,
Uh-oh.
well, maybe he's too far.
EE.
15k gold down. That's a tough comeback for Eternal Envy. No ultimate. He wanted to go for a bit of split push. He will be punished for that. As Secret banged him down in the bottom lane. Yeah. Well, they're still killing the Lycan even so. Let's see, what's Fada got here? I think his Ags is on red.
What is Zags gonna do this game?
If they whiff their Chronospheres, man, it could do a lot.
Easy, fast jungle farm.
Easy is quickly becoming like the most fallacious word in advertising here in Dota. You know, anything that's easy is anything but.
It is easy. You don't even have to attack.
But it's always like There's always razors lurking under the sawdust, you know? It's fool's gold, Ben. Fool's gold, I tell you.
It is in this case.
Well, Cloud9 are doing their split push thing now. Double Mjolnir now complete. Thor will be challenged. Zeus will be challenged for supremacy as King of Lightning. Is there anything else that gives you lightning from items? Not really, right? Need a Rubik to steal some of the Zeus's spells.
Need a refresher on Razor. Refresher Mjolnir Scepter.
New rule. Can only build lightning-related items this game from now on for all teams. Alright. Well, big item for Kuroki coming out, your BKB. You mentioned he doesn't really need it, but we did see the nuke damage can bring him down. So should he get a BKB?
That's mostly because he whiffed his ultimate. Yeah. If he didn't whiff his ultimate, he wouldn't have died.
Well, this will give him a little...
Oh, they found E. Ruh-roh.
Eternal Envy caught out, slept, and now the Earth Splitter coming on through. They have that black hole ready to go. Not going to need it, though. They Malefice, and they go to town on Eternal Envy. Tonight's dish, grilled wolf.
See, this knows Cloud9 too well. You're hiding in the trees, we find you, we kill you. It's that simple.
Well, Elder Titan certainly helps in that regard.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do about Elder Titan. Luckily for Cloud9, they have first pick next game.
Do they want to first pick it? Oh, we'll see. Fada getting caught out here. Did not pop his ultimate. Did not get off the static link. Did not use anything. And as a result, he gets ripped to pieces by that hammer-headed shark of a man. And they'll now lurch forward. S4 with the blink clap. He gets multied as he looks for the split, but that's okay. Big Daddy's here once again. Manages to get off his stomp and secures another kill. So it looks real good for Seeker now. No split push. Up 20k gold. This should be perfunctory taking this next lane. Abraxa leap in from Kuroki. BKB could be purchased soon, but doesn't actually have it yet. Doesn't need it either. S4 again jamming it in, and Bone 7 just... well, stalling tactics, but all for naught. Secret not even remotely phased by these. They'll take down the mid lane of Rax, and with this, they should be jumping out to a 1-0 lead in this series. Comeback, non-existent at this point for Cloud9. 4 of the top 5 heroes are on Secret in terms of net worth, and not to mention the late game, most likely in their favor as well. So look for Eternal Envy here. He's got to split in 2 seconds, but that might be just a few seconds too long as he won't even... I call it a split, a transformation. Won't even get it off. I'll end up dropping once again. GG. Cloud9 get absolutely wrecked in game number 1.
Again, too predictable, too greedy, and also I think it was just... the Storm pick was fine for them. I just think they need a different mid. So either like a safer offlaner or a more aggressive mid would have been a little bit better for them. But well played, well drafted too.
Yeah, everything goes according to plan here for Secret in game number 1.
Just very smooth sailing for them.
It's funny that they're named Secret because there's very little secret about what they're going to pick. You know, it's the same stable of heroes every game, but they just execute it really well.
It's a secret on how to beat it.
Yeah, that's secret only EG holds the answers to for now. Actually Vici, but no Vici here in the Summon EU. Just Cloud9 remaining. Can they bounce back, guys? They'll have some time to do it. Even should they lose the next game, they still have one more shot. It's a best of 5. This is only game 1, but Secret looking good, making it smooth, and we're off to that 1-0 lead. We'll take a quick break. Of course, I'm LD. You can follow me on Twitter at LDDota. He's Merleezy at MerliniDota. We'll be right back for your game number 2. Thank you for watching the Summit to Europe by G2A.com. We shall return.